There's a concept called Shoshin where you always want to have a beginner's mindset. People do things that you might not know. Okay. People do strategies you might not know. So always open up your mind. But Pace's method, I'm just going to give him credit. He calls it the Morby method. He put it on his own stuff, which is brilliant. And this is what it is. You go in and you talk to the seller. And as you're talking to the seller says, I want to sell for cash. It could be a super nice property. And you say, okay. And they say, I want 250 and it's worth 250. You say, okay, if I brought 60% of the money to the table, okay, if I brought you, 200 grand to the table, would you finance the other $50,000 to me? And it's essentially a way of saying, hey, I'll bring a 60% down payment if you'll finance the rest. Well, then what you do is you go out and you get a loan. And what are they going to cover? They're going to cover 70 to 80% of that purchase amount. Well, the other 50%, you say, okay, Mr. Seller, well, would you be willing to finance the rest of that to me on a second lien on your property, right? And invest in a property you're already familiar with. If they're comfortable, they'll say yes. Well, what you do is you go to the title company, you close on the transaction, you fund the whole deal, right? So the whole deal gets funded at 250, but the title company doesn't fund them their additional 50. They turn around and they create a note and they attach a subordinate lien or a second lien position on the house. And they turn around and send the money back to you. And you now have a second lien on the property with none of your money into it, which is absolutely brilliant. And as long as it cash flows and the rest of the numbers make sense, this is a way of owning a property without having any money in the deal. Actually, you could potentially make money on the purchase.